power. People wey supposed talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Mayegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle so they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come.
Hello there. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Glory Facebook, glory YouTube.
Thank you so much. I miss all of you too. And thanks for joining me. Okay, share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them Mayegun today. Thank you, Fatu Khan. The squad is ready. Jaga bandits, Jaga addicts, Ashiwaju awon ole has finally come full circle. Share this broadcast. But today, they have already fired the EFCC chairman. Of course, as expected, the house cleaning will continue this week. The squad is ready. The devourers have grouped together and they are ready. Share this broadcast.
And yes, we like and yes, we like
over 40 killed in Plateau State, in Jos, yeah. The terrorists are also very much back.
And yes, we like báńkì náà kówó jẹ. Ayé ìṣúra. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá.
Thank you, far too kind. Let's get started. Good evening once again, and good morning to you, and good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun, and it is live. If you are watching me right now, it's live, but if you are watching me after tonight, it's going to be a replay. But either way, share this broadcast. Read the caption and the description, right? Drop your offering, which is like the broadcast, and then sit back. Let's get started. In the last few days, the trending news is that Koolu signed a bill that nobody kind of knew anything about until that day. And that bill is called the Students' Loan Law. And I kind of came out quickly because you can tell when something is haphazardly put together, right, in that manner, you can smell the fraud, you can smell the scheme from far. But for somebody like Mayegun and those who love to trust the thieves that they probably will do something better, or the criminals actually care about them or care for them. So Mayegun is just going to be a negative person to people like that. Yeah, I was a negative person to people who rejected the truth, who chose never to see the lies or see the fraud. And the moment they discover that they have been defrauded, they begin to tell God to intervene. But then they likely won't come back and say, I remember when that Mayegun said it too. But guess something, right? Even when they are completely caught up in that fraud, and those who are the victims, of that fraud, the Nigerians, most of them just turn around and say, well, Shedi, you never wanted him to succeed anyway. So I'm not new. In case if your own mantra is, at least let us give them some chance. You see, what I say or what we know on this platform is never going to really change anything. You have handed over Nigeria to criminals. This time around, known career criminals. You now have Akpabiole. You have a koolu who have put up his own squad. Now, what that simply means is that it is a freeway, the highway, when they will begin to rape you economically. But let's get it on to this. It is a fraud. And it is not even like taking his, it doesn't take the life of his own before the whole scheme, lies, fraud around it, including the corruption around it. Something you can call setting up a shop on education. Don't get confused. Tinubu signed a law that Bokwari rejected. And that law is that the government of Nigeria, right, will establish a bank. And that bank will be financed or funded by the Central Bank of Nigeria from the proceeds of oil. 1% of the money they make from crude oil, every month, will go straight into education bank. But should I remind you quickly, ladies and gentlemen, that there is something called education tax fund or education tax. Every company that is paying tax in Nigeria, operating in Nigeria today, I'm talking about those ones doing it legally. Every company, by law in Nigeria, will pay 20% of their own, their profit, right? And the government of Nigeria, the government of Nigeria will then take this 20% tax, and it is meant for education, totally educationally.
Àtisẹ́tẹ́ àti ń parọ́ tipẹ́ àtisẹ́tẹ́ tìtó òdìmú òdodo òsì mọ́ àtisẹ́tẹ́ kágbádé fáláre àtisẹ́tẹ́ kágbẹ̀bí fáláre àtisẹ́tẹ́ adájọ́ ń parọ́ torí owó àtisẹ́tẹ́ òtìlú ń parọ́ nítorí ipò àtisẹ́tẹ́ èdò gbówó ń tẹ́ àti ṣetẹ́ ètìṣetẹ́ àti ṣetẹ́ ìjàǹjà aráàlú àti ṣetẹ́ àti ṣebo àti ṣetẹ́ àti ṣetẹ́ àti ń parọ́ tipẹ́ àti ṣetẹ́ òtítọ́ òdìmú òdodo òsì mọ́ àti ṣetẹ́ kágbádé fáláre àti ṣetẹ́ kágbẹ̀bí fáláre àti ṣetẹ́ adájọ́ ń parọ́ torí owó àti ṣetẹ́ òṣèlú ń parọ́ nítorí ipò àti ṣetẹ́.
Sorry about that. I just froze. Anyway, talking about education in Nigeria, from primary school to university level in Nigeria, education is meant to be free. But corruption, not law, there is a law that says if all these companies, if this 20% is indeed used for education, do you know how much Nigeria will be spending on education every year? I'll give you a rough estimate, okay? Nigeria will be having a whooping sum of 3 trillion naira in a year. 3 trillion for education alone, without having to kind of cut money or what have you, or get money from elsewhere for education. Just that money alone. I have known this for the past 20 years of my life. It's called education tax and education tax fund. You will never hear about it, anything about it. So this new law of koolu, the job for the boys, okay, is this. Education in Nigeria have suffered serious poor funding for decades. And this was deliberate, by the way. It is kind of intentional. Destroy the education, right? Destroy the quality of the product of Nigeria education. Enough that you have so many people in Nigeria today. They are PhD holder in this, this one in that, doctorate in this, certificate without any substance, ordinary bridge. They can't tell you that. Say, you know that that beautiful bridge constructed in so-so's place was designed by Nigerian, engineering school. And the whole construction and everything was done by Nigerian students or engineers. No, everywhere you go, okay, everybody parade is certificate without substance, nothing. Because the certificate is mostly to prepare yourself for an opportunity when you can easily access government and steal money too. So the education was deliberately destroyed in Nigeria. And koolu has come on to cash on it. I'm not your enemy, but you'll find out soon. Now, they have this law that koolu signed. In that fraudulent student loan law, something they extracted from the 1975 military government decree on education. Now, back then, when the military did it, the people who got the loan, majority of them defaulted, that they ended up being published in the Nigerian Daily. So what koolu and gang, what they cooked for Nigeria is this. It's not to help education or help you, the students. No, your life is about to take a new twist. A lot of you are going to drop out of school very soon. And like I said, I'm not your enemy. Okay? Now, the law that koolu signed, it will now give them the right to set up a bank. Okay? And that bank is going to be called Education Bank and set up by the federal government of Nigeria. Now, by that law, Tinubu is allowed, by that law he signed, to take 1% of the crude oil sale and give that 1% to that bank. So setting up of the bank, the directors, the rest of that, I bet you know what will happen to that, but let's leave that. So the bank is just going to be a stop shot of the new face of money laundering, like when they opened a shop for Shadia. Now, you see this bank, you as a student, a federal student, whether you are going to the federal college or you are going to the federal university, okay, they are considered the cheapest in today's Nigeria when you want to have education, okay, higher education. So if you go for any federal universities or colleges, you'll be paying next to nothing as tuition. That seems to have been a sort of a education subsidized by Nigeria also. Now, if you are going to the state universities, colleges, and all of that, you will have a different stories. Okay? Now, Nigeria is expected to be a federal system whereby every state can always, make laws, rules, anything that actually work for them without having to follow whatever anybody decides at the federal. But because it is a pseudo-federal system, it's a unitary system, whereby even the federating unit of Nigeria, they are enslaved to that center. Therefore, they can't really do anything by law on themselves to succeed or survive. So, making the law primarily has created a bit of a confusion. Who are those who will benefit? And what are the real the benefits? So, the education bank that will have that money from the central bank, okay? You, as a student of the federal universities or colleges, you can then go to your, the student, admin department in your school to go and pick up a form that you want to borrow money to pay for your school fees. Now, when they give you student loan, they cover a lot of things, including tuition, accommodation, transportation, education materials, including tour. If you have to pay for any kind of, your class tour, that's what they call the student loan, mostly. But if Tinubu says student loan is to pay the school fees of the federal university students and then colleges. So states who want to benefit from it, what they will now do is that they will now put up an application and say, okay, the state colleges and universities students who want to get to, okay? So they have to make a deal. Your state have to make a deal with the government. That area is not really clear. But let's focus on the one that seems to be clear but shady. So what they now do is that the news now broke after the student loan, okay? That they are now introducing new school fees to the federal universities and colleges in Nigeria. You see, the era whereby you could send yourself to school. A lot of you bragged. I went to Ife. My total school fees for 4 years is now up to 100,000 naira. Now, that era is completely gone now. Some of you are there now. And as people are complaining of paying this massive tuition, you in the federal university and colleges, you are like paying next to nothing, Abi. That has ended in that new student loan. So what happened is that it doesn't matter how much your school fees. Listen to this. So if your school fees is, for example, increased to 200,000 naira in Ife, for example, don't worry if you can't pay it. Just go to your department head and ask for the process of how to get a loan, student loan. Okay? So when you follow that procedure, okay, then if your loan is approved, now before you can even get approval, right? Now, if you have any criminal record as a student, you cannot access that loan. If you have defaulted, for example, on some of these loan sharks with all this loan app that some of you are borrowing money from and running away, some of them are putting your pictures as obituary on social media because you are not paying them what you borrowed. All of that will flag up. You can't participate. Now, if you have none of those and you've not cheated in an examination before and get caught in your school, okay? So if you have never done that, then now you are qualified to apply. To now apply, here are the processes, or should I say the process. The first one, after picking up the form that you are interested in so amount of money for your school fees, okay? Your department and all of them will give you that form. You will then take the form to your guarantor. You need guarantor, 2 guarantors. And that could be a level 12 civil servant to sign up that you will pay your student loan, okay, after. And then you need to look for a royal father, a senior cleric in your area, and all that kind of thing. So if you now get all of them, now you will then take that your form. You will take it to the student, education bank. Okay. When you take it to the education bank, you will now submit your form for the loan. Now, the education bank will then look into all your background, everything, like should they give you or not. Now, if the education bank feels like they can't give it to you, then you will need to go and sort for the money for your school fees afterward. Sure, you get. Now, if you make it to that point and the education board says, clear, here is your 180,000 naira for your school fees this semester. Now, that school fees is not going to be given to you. Remember, you have already filled your student details and all that, Abi. So they will now pay it straight to your school. Do you get that now? So once it is paid, all you will need then is going to be the slip confirmation that you've paid. So then you know that you are owing the education bank 100,000 naira, 200,000 naira, no interest, according to the no interest. So don't worry about interest or anything. Now, then after 4 years of your education and you are now a graduate, okay? So you go for the 1 year mandatory youth service. That one you get paid, they are going to increase the money soon from the current 40,000 or 50,000 naira. They're going to increase it to about 100,000 naira. Now, with that 100,000 naira a month, so by the time you finish, let's say after 4 years, or let's say ASU strike or no, but let's say there's no ASU strike, there will be ASU strike, by the way. But let's say there is no, so none, 4 years. And your total fee for that 4 years is put at, let's say, 1 million naira. Okay? Now, you go for your service for the first year. They won't ask you for the money. Then they'll give you an extra year after your graduation, making it 2 years. Okay? Now, around that time, whether you want to go and look for a job, once you found a job, you will go back to the education bank, okay, and tell them that you have found a job so that they can set up a direct debit, removing an agreed amount of money from your salary every month, okay? So you take that and that's it. But if something happened that you can't find a job, you decide that you want to go and start a business, it is the same thing. After 2 years, year 1 service, year 2 looking for a job or business and setting up the repayment of your student loan. So by the year 3, if you have not started paying, you are going to jail. Now, when they arrest you, and they figure out that you have defaulted, you have not paid your student loan, you will be fined 500,000 naira as a fine, or 2 years in jail. You will still pay the money, but for defaulting. Sure, you get now. Now, people are now saying 4 years university, 1 year NYSC, 1 year freedom, and then 2 years jail. So if people see you and say, Baba, I haven't seen you after our graduation, after NYSC. What happened? How is life? He said, Baba, I go jail. Why? Because I don't pay my student loan. So I go spend 2 years in jail. Now that's the farthest of it. Sure, you get for those who kind of attempt to take the loan. Now, if your household, for example, in your house, you are earning more than 500,000 naira every month, you are not qualified. Your children are not qualified. So what that simply means is this. Let's say you are earning 500,000 naira every month and you can't take the loan. But suddenly, the school fees you normally pay for your son or your daughter, or for your sons and daughters in that school, usually with your salary, you considered yourself that even though it's not easy, but you are thanking God. You know that type that we say, about how you manage for this Nigeria? Baba, it's not easy, but we are thanking God. Because you are able to still pay some bill, because they are there moderately. Now, what happened is that that your 500,000 naira is going to become not enough anymore. Because you can't access the loan, and at the same time, you need your children in school. So it's complicated, Abi. Now, that's when people now said, it has already opened the door for the multi-dimensional corruption that is going to take place. And because this is all about money, for them, it's just going to be like first come, first serve. Those of you that will first get the set of the money, you are never going to pay back and you are never going to go to jail. It's a pure bazaar. But you can dance around and feel like, hey, but it's cool now. Now, one of the things that is causing problems in the education sector in Nigeria is the funding. Okay? You can take out all these disguises, all this nonsense, all right? By what? By letting the schools run their own, their schools. Okay? Currently, if you go to some universities in Nigeria, the tuition is considered cheaper if you are considering the tuition in Nigeria to the rest of the world. Okay? But here is the twist. The economy of Nigeria does not reflect the kind of tuition that some schools are charging currently in Nigeria. And then you begin to ask, for example, there is this, I think it's the last year where there's this particular school that increased their school fees from, I think, that's in Ogun State, Abi. They increased their school fees from about 40,000 naira to over 240,000 naira for law students and science students, right? That's an astronomical, increase. No be so. But then you begin to ask that if the school is charging this much and they have a population of over 4,000, 5,000 or 10,000 students, and people are paying this massive, running into billions of naira, who then takes the money and not the school? But the government gets the money. Abi, who gets the school fees you pay? Because at the end of the day, when you go to all these schools, they are all there dilapidated enough that they are crying for funding. And you are like, if you can't 10 of your friends and how much you pay for school fees in the last semester, and then you are like, how come we don't have any running water in this school? How come we don't have any, dispensary that actually really cares and takes care of the heads of the students? The money is gone. So it's pretty much like, a money spinning. And it is the chance for the koolu and gang. But this time around, like the education tax fund, that nobody will tell you what they are doing with the money. Nobody. Bokwari came, just multiply 3 trillion or 4 trillion naira. By now, it will probably have been over 4 trillion naira for education tax fund they are collecting in Nigeria. Multiply that by 8 years. 8 times 4, 32. Abi? 32 trillion naira. Imagine what 32 trillion naira could have done in education of Nigeria, the welfare of the lecturers, the teachers, and the rest of them. Just imagine that. Now, since they don't know what will happen to 20%, let's go and take 1% from the crude oil. Here you get. So the students' union leaders, they met with koolu in appreciation that he just gave them the student loan, right? In celebration. Let me see if I still have that. We currently kind of up to, give me a second. Yeah, we're currently up to that part of their leadership, which was where I wanted to start in the first place. But we'll come back to that. That of this. So yeah, he got visited by the student NANS. They are called NANS, and everyone telling them that this is pretty much a Ponzi scheme. Is considered enemy of Tinubu, as they did with that of Bokwari. Sorry, give me a sec. So talking about their leadership, the Alibaba and 40 thieves, and those who are going to help consolidate the state capture that you are about to witness. I'm talking about Akpabiole and gang. So the dream of koolu to have control over the National Assembly of Nigeria, which is the tradition anyway, and the thing that actually makes it more like paddy. The state capture is complete. Nobody's going to checkmate or control anything. A lot of you are praying right now that hopefully the court will rescue you. You know, I always tell you that amen to that, Abi. Nobody's coming to rescue you. The the whole vicious circle has come full. And as it is right now, you are just at the mercy of whatever koolu pushes your way. It's not going to be easy for him too. So you get agitation, protest, criticism and all of that are going to escalate. And they are also going to be up for it, because I know them very well. The propaganda machine is working like endlessly as we speak right now. Yeah? And therefore, a lot of you are going to get muddled up in so many confused lies. But you know one thing that can never change is the fact that if they are doing the right thing, are you with me? It will last, and you will feel it. And there is no one that can pop up any kind of a criticism just to rubbish that. But as it is right now, enjoy the flair of the lie, like these guys who call themselves the student union, but I know they are not.
Less than 24 hours after President Bola Tinubu signed the student loans bill into law, members of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, led by the president, Umaru Barambu, were at the State House, Abuja, to show their appreciation to the president.
Thank you very much. Please have your seat.
The Student Loan Act will provide easy access to higher education for indigent Nigerians through interest-free loans from the Nigerian Education Loan Fund. President Tinubu said his administration would commit more resources to the education sector.
If we all believe that education is the greatest weapon against poverty, then we have to invest in it. And that poverty should not prevent anybody, any child, including the daughter or son of a wood seller or barley seller or yam seller, from attaining their high standard of education, to eliminate poverty. If you eliminate poverty in one family, one single unit, you can carry the rest of the wealth.
The president will promise to consider the request of the NANS leaders, urge the students' body to ensure unity among its members across the country to achieve more.
The bill is open-ended, without tenure. 4 years university education should be 4 years, unless you are in medicine or other sciences that is longer than that. So the kind of ASU strike that we had in the past must not happen again. Yes, the student needs to be represented. But if there's anything I last remember, that you are not cohesive too. You fractionized. You are in factions sometimes. So once one person is on the board, another faction might raise the air.
Addressing State House correspondent after the meeting, the students said they made some demands to the president, one of which is the review of the membership of the Students' Loan Board.
And there are some organizations that they put there, which to us, they don't need to be there. We gave him examples, more especially the Nigerian Bar Association, ASU. They have their own microfinance bank running their own affairs without students in their board. So I don't think it's wise for us to allow them to be inside our own board, because it is purely student.
The student loan bill, which takes effect immediately, was sponsored by the Speaker of the Ninth House of Representatives, Gbajabiamila.
Share you guys about board appointment and the rest. And he said it is purely for students. It is not purely for students, in case if you don't know. The Education Bank, according to that Education Bank Act, Education Act, Education Bank can also perform other banking duties or roles, like giving loans to other businesses. Do you know that? So it's not just for you students. In case you begin to say corruption in another few months. Corruption. Now the politicians, they get the loan. The students are not getting the loan. The students are not being given the loan. Please remember today that Mayegun told you, you are just pawn on their chess table. Enjoy this whole drama while it lasts. Call Mayegun negative, or Mayegun, it doesn't wish Nigeria well. These people don't wish you well. And a lot of you that are not going to get that loan would need to source for your school fees elsewhere. And if you can't, maybe you should take a break. Maybe you will have to take a break and come back later to continue. All of these are on their way. But until then, when they said it takes effect, it takes effect immediately. This afternoon, they said, no, it's not immediately again. It's going to be September, October. That is when they will first begin to release the money. For now, they need to set up the bank, they need to set up the board, they need to set up all of this, which actually that makes sense, all right? They need to set all the shop up. But you see all of the way you will know that it is set up for looting and stealing is that, do you know that if they actually meant well, that they really want to help you to get access to education, having access to education, it's not the problem in Nigeria anymore. It's not actually the main problem in Nigeria. That's what so many students said. The real problem in Nigeria is what you do after getting that education, job, or what are the opportunities there to explore? What are the ones created by the same government that told you to have to get education? You are already, a lot of you are already in school. Yes, you are struggling to get by, Abi. Accessing or gaining access or gaining admission is actually not, it's not the real problem, is it? Okay. So those who felt like the bank, like I said initially, right? Those of you who are going to get caught up in all of this, you would now realize that it is not set up to help you to access education, because accessing education is not the real problem. It is actually accessing jobs where you get that education. But if Tinubu is telling himself that he wants to help you to have access to education, so yeah, they are going to introduce new school fees so that you will have no reason to say, because the school fees is expensive, that is why you drop out. Those who are promoting this, majority of them, they are most people who dropped out of school, uneducated or half-educated or poorly educated people. Those who are shouting this education, that, oh, sure you get. But you're going to come back to me and tell me later how politicians hijack your bank. It wasn't your bank in the first place. It's just another conduit pipe, another Empower, another Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, another Ministry of Happiness. I be waiting, you won't call them job or money for the boys, but embrace it while it lasts. So let's go to what they have done to you. What they have done to you, to Nigeria. A lot of you are not going to realize that or understand it yet. I can see, as usual, I have been proven right when I said Nigerians, they love their oppressors, their thieves differently. And whenever religion, tribe, ethnicity comes to play, common sense, morality, and all of that would have to take the last seat. they don't like, I mean, they don't hate most of these bad things that you are seeing. In fact, they are ready to fight you for calling out those bad people and their bad behaviors because you are talking about their man. Eh? Why are you attacking the person from our tribe? Eh, Mayegun? Can't you see that, there's unity? I mean, they're happy. You know what they're saying? Right now, Tinubu has given the thieves in every region sense of belonging. I'll tell you. The president, Koolu, is from Southwest, Abi. The vice president, Shitty Boy, is from Borono, Northwest. Shina Northwest. Northeast. No, Northeast. No, Northeast. The speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, from Kaduna, North Central. I've been at Northwest. Akpabiole, the thief, is from Akwa Ibom, South too. Abi, his own vice, I don't know his name yet. He's from somewhere in northern Nigeria, maybe Northwest. Abbas, Tajuddin Abbas from Kaduna, his own vice is from Southeast, from Igbo land. And according to them, for the first time, yes, it's evenly distributed. Even though the Agbadomite are saying, before Igbos will touch anything leadership in Nigeria, first they have to repent for supporting Obi and not voting for Koolu. Then secondly, they will wait till 2039. So, but if they continue like this, they will need to wait for another 16 years. Because according to them, Nigeria power rotation among these criminals, once it is done, once the Yorubas are done, Kwakwanso from Kano in year 2031 will take over from Koolu. When Kwakwanso finish in year 2039, Akpabiole will take over. Then somebody said, what about the Igbos? If they need to change, if they don't change the way they are doing their politics, they will have to wait 30, year 47, year 2047. They've already shared it. And according to what Tinubu has achieved, there is nothing like checks and balances anymore. Come and shop. Now in the ground, the thieves have taken over strategic positions in Nigerian polity. They will make laws. They will pass and borrow. They will pass budgets. They will borrow money in your name. All right? They will print money in your name. They will kill your fellow Nigerians. They will do a lot of things in the next, God knows when it's going to take them. Abi? I don't know. The president is a retired heroin trafficker. The vice president is an active Boko Haram, sympathizer, a jihadist. The Senate president is a career kleptomaniac, Akpabiole. His vice, I don't know him yet, so I can't give you the profile yet. Abbas, Tajuddin, also, as part of the rotting system, a rubber stamp as well. I don't have much details on him until when his wives showed up and Wahala started during his own inauguration. I don't know if you have seen it, that they swear for the speaker. And the two wives were fighting for space behind him. That shows that drama they come. We go enjoy them. I'll take you to where they swear for them.
Victor.
Okay. Now, I think to make this make sense, okay, we want to go straight into, give me a circle. We want to go straight now into the selection process of these criminals. So, Gbajabiamila, Chief of Staff, Remi Wiripe, Deputy President, Seyi Tinubu, first son of the Federal Republic, Folashade Tinubu, first daughter of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the whole thing seems to have come a full circle. Seyi was the first to call on those who call themselves lawmakers. Oh yeah, all of you, I want to see you. The first son of the Federal Republic of Nigeria wanted to see all of the newly elected or returning National Assembly lawmakers. Okay? And one of them, Saidu Muhammad Yesu, he was so happy to attend that meeting. That, Seyi, the first son of the Federal Republic. Now you're going to know that there is actually going to be office of the first son of the Federal Republic. He's already marking his own territory. His own sister, Folashade, she's marking her own territory too. The first daughter of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You see, the selection, they are currently at the stages, at the stage of a selection. All of them are going to be the new faces that are going to be donning your different screens, your newspapers, your radio, your gist, your blogs, your video scene, and all of that in the next coming days, weeks, months, and years. So they are taking their positions right now. Okay? So when they were making that selection, the drama started when the Labour Party House of Rep member decided to become the Shotun Shosima Babi Kokonje. Sorry if you don't understand that Yoruba. Shotun Shosima Babi Kokonje is somebody who doesn't want to offend anyone, yeah, by trying to be nice to all parties, like this guy when they were voting.
Victor, Famefuna, how do you vote? Though my heart is with Right Honorables Uwase and Jaji, my vote goes to TJ Abbas. Your vote. Order, please. Order, please. I advise us to keep it simple so that we... No, they are saying no. Members elect.
So, they all said that Tinubu doesn't have to meet them anymore. Anything that he wants, everything he wants them, they will do it. See. And it has started, though. Obedient. This battle of yours. You, man, not like you. You are going to see the true Nigeria politics. You are going to see the true meaning of no permanent friend, no permanent enemy in politics, but permanent interest, which is the GBT, the fraud that they normally use when fraudsters won't drop quotes. When Nigeria criminals, looters, when they want to drop quotes, they will tell you there is no permanent enemy, no permanent friends in politics, only permanent interest. I beg, ladies and gentlemen, what is that permanent interest of Labour Party, as Labour Party lawmakers, APC lawmakers, PDP lawmakers, in your own opinion? Now, if a Labour Party now come and tell you that there is no permanent enemy, there is no permanent friend, it's only permanent interest, and this interest is the interest of Tinubu, what would you do? What would you say? Okay, think about that anyway. But you are about to witness it. You see that 30 million that you are hearing that senators, they smuggle collect. And senators turn into contractors in the National Assembly, begging for contracts, budget padding. Your darling Labour Party politicians are going to do the same. Sure you get? You and the APC, the Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris, articulated mugus, articulated morons, all of them go enter the same water, the same inside the same puddle of death. Because you know why you are going to enter the gutter with them? You are going to be wondering why. You need to spell it out that they must be different. They can stand for Nigeria progress by standing on what is right, not by following what Tinubu wants, so that there is no noise, and they call it progress for Nigeria. 8 years, ladies and gentlemen. Well, apart from the first 4 years, this last 4 years of Bukwari, the Nigerian National Assembly became the rubber stamp. Everybody is cashing out from whatever Bukwari had to offer. Guess who was picking up the bill? You. Today, Nigeria is so indebted that every Nigerian, young and old, is now owing over 700,000 naira to debtors. We don't even know who we are owing. Because of these guys, their cooperation for the progress of Nigeria. 16 trillion naira uncompleted project scattered everywhere. Uncompleted. Lagos Ibadan Expressway, uncompleted. Lagos Ibadan Railway, uncompleted. Abuja Kaduna Rail Line, uncompleted. Abuja Metro Line, uncompleted. Abuja CCTV project, uncompleted. Second Niger Bridge, uncompleted. Power generation, uncompleted. Refinery refurbishment, uncompleted. 11 trillion naira spent on refinery refurbishment in Nigeria in the last 8 years. Because National Assembly and the executive are cooperating for the progress of Nigeria. Nobody's been hurt for anything. So if you are sitting there and say, hey, this is leadership for the cooperation and the progress of Nigeria, as a Labour Party person, I feel sorry for you. You're going to get caught up in that, trapped in all of that. You know? But the whole game is kind of taking shape now. I have seen some of you as well feeling like at least Akpabiole has now finally achieved his life dream. The dream of becoming... You are happy. But when the scandal begin and you say, these people are just mad, these people are our enemy, these people are the kiniko, you begin to act like say you didn't celebrate this, Abi. You are going to come back when they begin to deal with you. Now, immediately after my heart and my vote issue, they decided to swear for the new speaker. Another drama. Now, the only thing I still know about the Abbas be this. 2 wives who came to the swearing in, they didn't sort themselves, and they started almost a fight where he was being sworn in. And another thing, the guy that killed 13 people because they won't let people vote for him, and they were going to vote for another people in his own Kano constituency. Dogua, the murderer, was standing next to their new speaker. And you, may Tinubu succeed. May you succeed in your moral, in your moron, what have you anyway. So yeah, the swearing in.
Oath of allegiance. I,
Abbas,
do solemnly.
But we are different from governors.
That I will be faithful. And bear true allegiance. To the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that I will preserve.
Speaker of the House. That's the procedure.
And that I will preserve.
The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Oath of Speaker of the House of Representatives. I
Abbas Tajuddin,
do solemnly affirm that I will be faithful.
You see that? See, it's like when I was reading this uncompleted, a lot of you are also writing the uncompleted project too. It's all scam, fraud. Dangote refinery, uncompleted. The people who told you that Dangote refinery is going to start giving you petrol in July, the same people also gave Dangote the license to import fuel to Nigeria. You see the scam? You this Mayegun. You don't want Nigeria to. Not me. It's not me. I'm only telling you that the people that are scamming you, you are encouraging it. Now, when they finally scam you, and you see that you have believed, your faith, your belief is on lies. A lot of you don't have the courage to come back and say, you are still ready to believe another lie from them. Dangote refinery. Dangote refinery. In fact, Dangote refinery. Now, Dangote is going to be importer of petrol. The subsidy they told you they were removing, they will pay it to Dangote now. It's called scam. Systemic scam. They closed the border. They gave importation license to Dangote alone. And then Nigeria is going to be great. You this Mayegun, I know that Nigeria is. It's not me. I'm not the one who is holding Nigeria not to be great. I am telling you the criminals what they are doing to hold you down, but you believe strongly in your mumunity. Your mumunity, It's so crazy, isn't it? Thieves should do the right thing. Who does that? Okay. Let's go further. Now, after the swearing for the new speaker, so the guy said, give me some time. I'm going to be telling you what we are going to be doing, legislative, blah, 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 nonsense. Now, all that bobo. The business is that after this old noise, everybody settle down and say, oh, yeah, waiting the ground. Oh, yeah, committee. I want to be the chairman of this committee. Oh. I need to be a member of that committee. Oh. You must pay me back. Oh. You say you get, So we're going to get to that. The scandal is going to start. For the first time in a long time, they are going to impeach Senate president. They are going to impeach speaker. Under this Tinubu, go and write it down. Sure you get. The moment your Supreme Court have been at your judiciary, we're in done one already. Once they behave themselves, and they legitimize the fraud under Tinubu, you're going to hear that they are about to impeach Senate president. So for now, enjoy all the show where all your thieves have been picked from everywhere to come and feast on you. Okay? So Akpabiole. No, before Akpabiole, let's go to Abbas. So Abbas, Abbas. Abbas. Why did I call him Abbas? Like dogs. Abbas. Oh, I'm so sorry if your name is Abbas, all right? I don't know where that came from. So it's going to make you feel like, my name is Abbas. Don't call me Abbas. I don't know. I'm sorry. So maybe we should just say Ajasko, because the guy looks like one anyway, right? Pretending to be serious. We are coming to come on. Iro. In another few days, una go know waiting day.
Before us, jointly, we shall introduce reforms and innovations for the benefit of Nigerians. In the few weeks, we shall be reeling out the legislative agenda that will shape the 10th House of Representatives. We shall work closely and interdependently with the executive and judiciary to give Nigerians the good governance they deserve. We shall stand at a crucial juncture in our nation's history where challenges are bound, but so do opportunities. We will champion legislations that will uplift the lives of our fellow citizens, promote social justice, and drive sustainable development.
Lori ira ole ni won. See, me. Somebody said, see this guy, obedient are your client, continue to cash out. You may be new. Some of you, who finally ended up she Oriburuku under Bokwari. Listen to me. 8 years ago, some of those who later Sheori Buruku under Bokuwari, whose businesses and lives were destroyed and ruined and completely, some of them 8 years ago, okay, they were telling me, they said PDP was paying me. I was telling them that they are about to destroy their lives. They are about to ruin everything that kind of make them human. The same way I'm saying right now. Some of them that later Shori Buruku, like I'm saying there, that later became unfortunate. So some of them have run away from Nigeria. Eventually, they've left Nigeria. Some didn't make it out of Nigeria. Some of them, they are the symbol, the figure. You know, when they say poverty capital of the world, Nigeria, the poverty capital of the world. If you want to see the textbook definition of that poverty capital of the world, some of those that were trying to gaslight Mayegun then, thinking this is kind of a game or a joke, it's because you don't like him. It's because you don't wish Nigeria well. 8 years ago, to pada Shiori Buruku under APC. 8 years ago, instead of you to listen so clearly, you were busy telling me, now PDP, they pay you. Buhari will surprise you. Buhari will fix Nigeria. You this enemy of Nigeria. That your naira became a tissue paper. That so many of you ended up as slaves in the camp of your kidnappers. When you now became the trash of the world, put it that way, the poverty capital of the world, the most terrorized people in the world, get something, Nobody, none of you, probably remember, or maybe not all of you, but some of you will later come back and say, so this guy was actually trying to warn us about what these people are going to do to us. So gaslighting Mayegun, you see, some people have already called me. They said that, what did they call, what will you call this? Yeah, the Igbos are funding you. Some said the Igbos are funding you. This one are funding you. But today is the obedient. See, when the shege starts, unfortunately, it's not going to be limited to you as Shiri. So some of you are not even in Nigeria. Here you get. But Bokwari did this worse to the point that some of you, even from that you're abroad, today you can't even go back to that Nigeria in what they finally did. So yeah, if you have anything to cash out from Mayegun's diary political, it is going to be a common sense. Trust me. It's just the common sense. And I've told people, I said, it's not about what you wish. You know what I mean? Like, this Mayegun doesn't wish this country well. It's not what you wish. If you're in your own warped mind, now because Mayegun no like, and Mayegun no wants Nigeria to succeed, that is why, or Mayegun is always happy that Nigeria is not good. And you are angry because Mayegun that's your perception, Abi. But the criminals who are destroying Nigeria that you love, your wish is that they should succeed. Is that not your wish? Let's be honest. Is that not your wish? So that you can come here one day and say, hey, Mayegun, look at it. Oh, our life done better. Oh. A lot of you waited for 8 years. 8 years on Mayegun's diary political. So that you can have one thing, just one thing to brag about and tell Mayegun, see, Mayegun, apart from the renewal of your slave certificate, here you get, which is something that is not worthy of pride. You destroy yourself, you destroy your everything, you become more kind of, of a lesser value. In the eyes of these people, they dehumanize you, unfortunately. But every day you wish you have something. And I said, if wishes were horses, you beggars will ride. Who doesn't want to see a safe country? Who doesn't want to read about a prosperous country where jobs are being created, not lost, where standard of living are improving, where pensioners are being paid as at when due, where all of you who actually work are being paid what is deserving. Economy that runs on hard work, not on corruption. All of these are life-changing things that cannot be hidden. That somebody like them or doesn't like them, they can't be hidden. Hey, but he's constructing the Lagos Ibadan. Why don't you talk about the Olori Brukunieni? Olori Brukunieni. Because look at it this way. Politicians like Bokwari and gang, who have now abandoned over 16 trillion naira project abandoned. But you want me to come and make you feel good because you saw katakata along Lagos Ibadan Expressway yesterday. They are already working there. I should praise them because at least they are working there. You know who is called the Wale Babalakin? For example, Wale Babalakin. I was just about a 16 years old or 17 years old boy when Wale Babalakin and his company by Courtney, when they have been doing that same patch on Lagos Ibadan Expressway since Obasanjo's time. Cholori Bruku Nieni. Now in 2023, you want somebody like me in 2023 to now come around and say, let us thank the federal government. They have started patching the Lagos Ibadan Expressway up to Ishagamu. Now, these are the things that we know the whole act behind it. So at the end of the day, 16 trillion naira budget or 16 trillion naira projects that ordinarily should be serving you, improving your economy, improving your standard of living, like really, really helping, they are abandoned. Or you are serious, want people to praise them. And you said, because they don't wish Nigeria well, that is why you are living in a shit hole. No, that's not why. If wishes were horses, if all of you are wishing for better thing, you are even praying for it. In that wretchedness, hopelessness, right? You are praying to the criminals who brought about the hopelessness to you. How do you expect something to be different? It's never going to be different. So when I see thieves and we point them out, you look at us and you say, now because we don't like them. Why would you like thieves? Like a grade Z in Abibao. 2023. Career thieves are going to be in charge of your destiny. And you are so comfortable with it that you became uncomfortable when they are telling you that you will scream, like you think, say, you look at this. So me, I know they wish you bad. Though I am telling you the consequences of what you are wishing yourselves, and I'm using the past examples, still using the same characters or the same criminals. So, here you get Akpabiole. Off your mic. Thief is your Senate president. It shouldn't be shocking, no. Drug dealer, drug baron is your president. Boko Haram sympathizer, terrorist sympathizer is your vice president. The two of them can't get one thing in common. They are ethnic bigots. Sure you get. So I don't know what Shege go look like, whether na popu or red. When I see Akpabiole, I don't feel like laughing. Honestly speaking, I feel sorry for a lot of you. Yes. It will take time. Listen, you see, when I first started the Mayegun's Diary Politico, some of these humbled slaves and sophisticated morons, okay? Let me put it this way. If you are non-Yoruba, okay, when you see Nigerians, when you see the Lagos Abobakus, this, uneducated, miseducated, unemployed, unemployable, political cretins, when the failure that they represent, the failure of Nigeria, okay, that they represent, when that hits them, they are so cowardice, right, to confront their own demon. The choice of empowering their own criminal, thieving, kleptomaniac oppressors, instead of facing them squarely and say, we gave you the chance to change our life, we gave you this to change our life, but you've made our life worse. Instead of them to face them squarely, they will begin to blame other people for why their lives are horrible. Let me explain that. When I started Mayegun's Diary Politico, when I first started, I called it Mayegun's Diary. It was my own online diary to register my total displeasure and disappointment with everything Nigeria. That's why I started my diary. So those who were the early callers back then, those who used to use the political correctness to gaslight you, to shut you up, their usual lines back then were, my friend, you should thank your own God. Leave Nigeria problem, okay? God has helped you. You have already been in the UK. My friend, face your life. Leave Nigeria problem. Leave Nigeria issue. Face your life. You okay? This were their own subtle way of saying, stop criticizing our leaders, our criminal leaders. All of them are thief. Nigeria can never be better. Mayegun, see, my brother, Nigeria can never be better. Face your life in the UK. Leave us here. Just leave Nigeria. Leave Nigeria and Nigeria problem. Then I was explaining to them that Nigeria problem is not Nigeria problem without the Nigerians. Sure, you get that you have left Nigeria. You are no longer living in Nigeria. Does not spare you from being affected with everything happening in Nigeria. So I spent years explaining this to a lot of people who are not living in Nigeria, by making them realize that whatever you are supporting back in Nigeria, indirectly, you are digging your own graves too. And eventually you're going to fall into it. So I started opening people's mind and eyes to why they cannot keep quiet because they have left Nigeria. Because the criminals in Nigeria, they will do it so worse that even you that is not in Nigeria will become victims of everything wrong with Nigeria. Today, I have been proven right. Anyway. Face your life. Leave us alone. So when that didn't work, they started saying, are you trying to say that you have a better life than us? Is it because you are in the UK, you think you can just talk anyhow? You think you can just talk about our leaders like that? You are just insulting elders. Don't you have any respect? They were angry. They said I was insulting criminals because they are their leaders. They are their elders. Didn't I have home training? I've been doing this, by the way, for over 10 years. Just in case if this is your second time, third time, first month, first week, or even first year of watching Mayegun, I have been doing this for 10 years. So you can tell why I sounded more like a teacher. They say, I love your analyst and all of that, because I speak from experience that I've gathered for over the years. I know my audience very well. So well. And that is why when I use my languages and all of that, I don't give a damn how you feel. Because those who know Mayegun very well knows that I know my audience. So they started trying to do comparative check. Don't worry. Comparative, it means that they are comparing. Don't look at this one, though. He's always talking about Nigeria. Meanwhile, people like him, na dead people that they wash for UK, na plate that they wash, na yansh that they wash, Look at him, he's looking like is your life better than our life? Mayegun, look at this boy. Is your life better than our life? Because we are in Nigeria, does that mean that your life is better? These are people who are from the basket of this poverty, who will later become the basket of this poverty capital of the world. Urgent 2K, please help me. Please now. They started attacking me, trying to make me feel like what I was exposing, the criminals I was talking about, the consequences of their actions that I keep raising my voice about for years was because I wanted to show to them that I have a better life than them. I was like, no, of course I have better life than you. All you have, because you see, in Nigeria, one thing I discovered is that there are people with a lot of money, so much money, but they are poor people living in the poverty capital of the world. That's the only place such people could actually have such money. Sure, you understand, saying? So therefore, those who don't have money, they always believe that once you have money, your life is sorted. The Nigerian mentality. I have a better life than you. Whether you are driving a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, whether you are living in a palace or you are living in a mansion in Nigeria, I am living a better life than you. That's a fact, but that is not why I'm doing what I am doing. The reason why I'm doing what I am doing is because as much as you spend much of your time defending criminals who are stealing your future, by the time you arrive at that future they are telling you and you meet nothing, then you realize that you have believed nothing. The good life that I have finally got to know is that it's not how much money I have. It's actually what I have access to. The freedom I cannot have access to. Things that I can do without having to be the son of this or son of that. Without anybody having to look at me and say, who is your father? I can sleep in my house with my two eyes closed. Something that is a luxury for so many of you that you even spend a lot of money. Yet you are not safe. You have the money, of course. But you are living in a world whereby your money cannot even buy you any peace of mind in Nigeria of today. You know it. You do. I don't need a lot of money to actually live a meaningful life. A life that is not life of greed, life of oppression and the rest of that. Okay. So, you can't use that on me. That didn't work. I say, this guy, that one no work. Let's go to another one. And that's why they have been coming up with different ones and different ones and all of that. But I will never stop telling you the consequences of your decisions. I am not directly affected. Of course, I am not. But when I see thieves, I know what they gathered for. They don't gather because of anything good. I have seen it happen again and again and again. You must be so daft or a very, very greedy criminal yourself to expect thieves, career thieves, to suddenly change. My effort then was that maybe if I have a chance, how naive of me. When I started my Egun's Diary Political, I was like, I am going to show all of you what UK look like. So that when you are watching me in Shagamu, when you are watching me right there in Adodo, or you are there watching me in Ekiti, or somewhere in Olu, or far away in Zamfara, I want to show to you that you don't need angels. You don't need saints. You don't need whatever any other thing that some of you are praying for to run a country or run a community and then make it more like a real place, a real country. So I would turn on. I was riding a bicycle. You know, get job. Some of them are saying, I don't get job. I will be riding my bicycle. I'll be showing everybody. See, oh, this one our boss, oh, there's no thug, no tout. Nobody is collecting order. Look at this, oh, no police checkpoint collecting money. Oh, look at that one. Oh, I was doing all of that. So they were more interested in me shutting up. So I didn't shut up. So fast forward to 10 years later. So some of you newbies, Indomie generation, you suddenly found your voices. You also found your own strength on social media to defend the criminals who have mortgaged your life. They've mortgaged your future. It's not that what I say to you. They have stolen what will actually make life meaningful for many of you. A lot of you are going to grow old. You are going to grow poor. It's not because God doesn't love you. Do you understand that? It's not because God, in Jesus' name, I will not be poor. Are you sure? Can't you just see your own father and your mother? Look at your parents. Be honest with yourselves. Look at your parents and tell me, why are they not kind of comfortable enough? Why do you have to go through hell? Why they were raising you? Did they not know how to pray very well? Are they not that smart? Do you think they are not smart? They couldn't have become a Tinubu or anything, Abi. They don't know God, Abi. You will find out later. It's not what I'm not wishing you anything different from what you are wishing yourself. Yeah, no. So you can come up with anything or anything that makes you feel better. You this Mayegun, let us pray for Nigeria. You have the biggest churches and the biggest mosques. The Abuja Mosque cost Nigeria 1.2 billion naira to build. Abuja Mosque. So which means the prayer you say inside that Abuja should be automatic, final. If you go to Redeem Church, Redemption Camp, where all of you are going to go and pray every year for better Nigeria, for this and that in your life, but yet your life remain even worse off. But you won't tell yourself that. Because to you, maybe God is punishing you. No be so. So let us pray for that. If you want to pray for Nigeria, why don't you go to Shiloh, go to Redeem, go to Foursquare, go to Nasfati, join prayer point for Nigeria to be better. Even if they are deceiving you, is it not time for you to even tell yourself that there are some things that doesn't make any sense? I'm not saying you shouldn't wish. You keep wishing. I will be here. Yeah, I will be here. Yeah, if I'm lucky enough and I live long enough. Because I know some of you have already told me there's something should happen to me, this and that. That's not how it works. You cannot put thieves in charge of your government and then turn to God to help you change them if you are not mad. To back in Shewere. You know Tinubu. You know Shitty Man. You know Akpabiole. You know Gbajabiamila. You know your state governors. You know all the reps you have. Then suddenly, me where they tell you say, if you want pray, go orioke, ko losorioke ko sheunti. Orioke olorun kole likiti. Go to all those, go to Olumoroki, go and pray to heaven to come and change your life. Ashiere. Gather all your pastors and do all the national prayer for Nigeria. Then you will realize that we reload. See, they say if you try to do same thing, if you are doing same thing again and again, same thing again and again, and you are expecting a different result, we reload share. Because even if you go out there, you say, look at this weird, look at this madman. You see a madman, you say, look at this madman. The madman will look at you and say, who is this madman calling me a madman? Now people go to the street, go call the differentiation. Who mad between the two of you? You can't put thieves in charge of your government and then believe that they're going to kind of like some miracle, just show wine meaning. So you can turn around and say, now this man no want Nigeria to work. Now this man will be this and that. If it makes you sleep well at night, mommy, believe believe very soon. Like those who once believed that Bokwari had this surprise under his sleeve that is going to come and do and fix Nigeria. But rather, look at Nigeria today, drenched in poverty. To the point that criminals have now taken over. No shame anymore. No shame. They are going to appoint another criminal as EFCC chairman. They are going to appoint criminals as ICPC chairman. They're going to bring in all your other thieves from your state as ministers. They're going to share position to other criminals. Everybody, the plutocracy that you've never seen before. You are going to be celebrating. They said they want to create a 5 million job. Yes, President Koolu signed job employment law. Yes. Tinubu have signed a law that they must create 5 million jobs for youths. That's the change we voted for. Tinubu have signed a law that all the Boko Haram terrorists, they must vacate Nigeria with immediate effect. Yes, that's the person we voted for in Yashiri. When the whole drama will begin, then you will now turn around and begin to accuse us of hating Nigeria. That is why things are not working. It's because we don't like him. That's why we are. It's because we don't see anything good in him. Nikure láàrin èmi àti yín, láàrin èmi àti yín, ìjà wa ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni. See, for 8 years, right? I told the Buhari Danes, the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Denotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Unekaharis. Their uncles and aunties abroad, the Mumadus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers. I told them, I said, you can continue to wait. Even if you fail to have shame, Bokwari and gang, Emasunkun last ni. No me. Because if they do what they say they will do for you, even personally, I would say, man, well, that makes sense. Because if you stay safe, my families are there and everybody is there too. I've got friends. They could be victim anytime. A family of mine became a victim of this kidnapping. He didn't go to Zamfara. He was not there in Borono. Are you with me? He was just traveling from between Ijebu and Ibadan. Ijebu to Ibadan. Something that 2,000 naira fuel will take him to and fro. We ended up having to part with over 3 million naira after they have already threatened to kill him and all of that. In Yoruba land, there are many families who have paid ransom to terrorists. So if they keep to their word and they keep you safe, my family is safe. Your family is safe. It is not a competition. That's why I told you. Politics is not a game. But you wearies, it's a game to you. And some people must learn how to play the game. Thinking you are part of the game. You think you are part of the game and you Lagos Abobaku. You are not. You are actually the pawn on their chess table. Now, on a live, they play the game. Somebody said that, Mayegun, you don't need to be talking like, stop talking like, abusing people. Yeah, Yoruba. Because most of them are Yoruba TikTok because I know those I'm talking to. Blue. Tell somebody, ask your neighbor to tell you the meaning. But anyway, let's go back to that where they are putting all the demo and all of that together. Are you with me? It's okay. Then Gbajabiamila also resigned. Okay, he resigned, and because he's now the chief of staff, very powerful. Now, if anybody want to see Tinubu, without Gbajabiamila, you cannot see Tinubu. Yes, that is a statement of fact. But we'll get to that. Let's go back to where they were doing their... Okay, I'm going to take you to Akpabiole's part now. When Akpabiole got confirmed.
The Federal Republic of Nigeria. 9. Absent, nil. Abstain, nil. Abdul Aziz Yari scored 46 votes. Godswill Akpabio scored 63 votes. Therefore, Senator-elect Godswill Akpabio, who has received the highest number of votes, is hereby declared and returned President of the Senate.
I was like, yeah, Obedi, let's go. And when they got there, it was like, see the drama, the clowns that are, the Senator Akpabio deserve it. Senator Akpabio has experience. Senator Akpabio is lawyer. Senator Akpabio is one of the thieves from PDP who left PDP in 2018 when EFCC was dragging him for stealing over 200 billion naira from the people of Akwa Ibom State. he said his enemies were at work. And they told him, if he wanted all of that to go away, he should join the APC. And he did. He joined the APC. So in 2019, even though he was a senator from Akpabiole in the Nigerian Senate, so when he joined the APC, he lost. And this Keneridino, this clown, was mocking him then, if you remember. A flashback.
To Godswill Akpabiole, that as a retired senator who is not going to be with us in the 9th Assembly, you should also continue or start to do those things that will continue, that will propel the prosperity of this country. Akpabiole, I will miss you in the 9th Senate, but we will definitely meet on the streets of Abuja. I thank you very much, my colleagues. The battle to salvage this country is not a battle of no return to Godswill Akpabiole.
Yeah, that video was trending. Because Akpabiole is now the Senate president. I must see this life. In this life, you must know how to play your politics very well. That is the poor man that is going to be the victim of what is still cooking. A lot of you are going to be the victim of what is cooking. I'm going to be here. I'm going to remind you. You are all going to come here. You are going to come here to come and curse Tinubu, curse APC, like you cursed Buhari. You can see it. Are you with me? You see that weary that is, you see that voice, that weary voice where they talk for that your head, where they tell you, say, what if they now turn out good? What if God now use them? That mad voice where they tell you that one. Now the same weary voice where they speak in the end of the Buhari idiots for 8 years. Until Buhari left, they were still waiting that what if Buhari change? What if Buhari now change Nigeria? What if Buhari now fix Nigeria? Now Buhari is gone. Now that same weary voice dey your head. In case if you don't know, go and see your doctor, Otini Mentor. In case if you don't know him, so those who once stood there for Buhari.
Less than 24 hours after President Bola Tinubu signed the student loans bill into law, members of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, led by the president, Umaru Barandu, were at the State House, Abuja, to show their appreciation to the president.
Thank you very much. Please have your seat.
The Student Loan Act will provide easy access to higher education for indigent Nigerians.
Something just interrupted me there, and I quickly had to fix that. So let's go back to Akpabiole. Now, come on, the newly elected Senate president, a thief.
Most of it were ex-tempo because of the fact that you couldn't have had a written speech because you didn't know where the outcome of the election will tilt to. Yeah, I mean, when you are contesting against a strong man like Senator Yari, I was referring to you that you probably had a written speech. Me, I did not have because I wanted to know where the outcome of the election will tilt to. Did you get did you have a written speech when you came? You had a written speech? No, I didn't ask Senator Abu. I did not ask you. I asked my brother, Senator Yari. So you did not, you see? So Senator Abdulaziz Yari did not have a written speech, so because he did not know where it would tilt to. And until yesterday, we did not even know the number of people that were going to contest. Because while we were running around, even Senator Isonaso was also running around, and I think the only person that withdrew was Senator Omaye. Then one of our other colleagues here was also, in fact, we were about 6 or 7 running around, so there was total confusion. Until we got to Chambers yesterday, that was when the race was reduced to 2. Even the people running for Deputy Senate President were about 5. Until we got to Chambers yesterday, that was when distinguished Senator Jibrin Barao went unopposed. So I doubt if you had a written speech. You did not. Even when you were going to talk to your constituents, because you didn't know whether you would win. And you did not even know you were going to go unopposed. So Senator Abdulaziz Yari, Echi, you didn't have a written speech because you were not sure you win. contesting against an uncommon transformer like me.
That's it. And that's exactly what they do inside that place, okay? How are you today? Okay, order. That's what they do there. And then they falsify and, change figures of your budgets, okay? Where they actually really cash their fraudulent checks. These guys are billionaires. They have no business, no enterprise or nothing. They've been in government since 1999. And it is like a massive... Let's go there again, please.
Daddy, our heart is full of joy. And please send me the addresses of wherever you are doing your receptions. I want to go around one by one to celebrate with you. And I wish your families a blessed journey back home without any incident of accident. Congratulations and welcome to the uncommon 10th Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Right now, may I now invite the Deputy Senate President of the 10th Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator Gbaja, who was returned unopposed while I went through a very difficult situation. To now move a motion for the adjournment of today's proceedings. Distinguished Senator Barrow.
Thank you, our uncommon Senate President.
And there is also another scenario at the session, because that's it started. Tinubu have already sacked the EFCC chairman. And from what we know, they said that, somebody being penned down is a northerner. Yeah, a northerner called Buhari. I'm sorry, I'm just giving you a tip that is quite so in pieces, right? Yeah, they've removed the EFCC chairman. Somebody said now they will make Ibori the EFCC chairman. Abba. It may not be that bad. Imagine making Ibori the EFCC chairman. Well, I won't be surprised anyway. Or maybe then say Ibori should bring the EFCC chairman. So Ibori nominate the EFCC chairman and the ICPC chairman, and the whole scenario is complete. So they have somebody they're going to bring in, and it's going to be a northerner, okay? But here is another episode inside the Senate chamber after their uncommon Senate President, Akpabiole.
The clerk, please not delete that part. Yes, Senator Jimmy Kuta. Use your...
Mr. President, deleting that paragraph will affect me because I am awaiting in-law, because I think I'm the only single here. So please, they should leave it. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Juguta, I rule you out of order. Yes, distinguished Senator Obey.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Senator Victor Ume, OFR. I represent the good people of Anambra Central Senatorial Districts. Mr. President, page 10, just a minor correction. I am humbled to be so honored by my colleagues. No,
There's a place the word used, crowd, the spelling was wrong. Since it's just a correction, it should be CROWD. There's no E in the crowd. Thank you very much.
The clerk, you can imagine the hurry because we just finished late yesterday, and so the secretariat will take care of it, but noted. So we look at that page 11.
So they've started their business, and going forward, they need to go and pay a thank you visit. So the man who has made a thief the Senate President of Nigeria. Go and pay homage, or else while I go start early. And that's why they went on there. And when you look at this picture, you have everything you need to know about what is coming to you, Nigerians. I mean, you can have an idea, even if you don't have the full picture, right? You see that far left, that is Gandola, Babariga Mobile Banking CEO. Currently, the video of Gandola collecting dollar money as a kickback from the road contract or project contract he awarded as governor in Kano State. Gandola, that guy at the far left, beside Devulumai, behind them is Oshiomole. You can see Oshiomole behind Gandola. You see Sonweku next to Devulumai. That's Akpabiole. That's Tifnumbu. Yeah. The other one is Oples Uzodingba or Oples Uzodijo, the far right. Next to him is Akume. They are all candidates of EFCC. So the squadron, that's that. That's not the full squad, though, but at least you saw that, Abi. So you can have an idea. That should tell you what is coming. Oshiomole is now a senator, by the way. So it's going to be inside that Senate chamber too. Don't be surprised. He's also from South Abi. Akpabiole, the impeachment of Akpabiole or the setting up of Akpabiole to remove him later, may pop up as long as Oshiomole is also inside that place. Don't quote me. I'm just giving you some signal of things that you can likely come across later. So yeah, they've removed the EFCC chairman because the EFCC was investigating Bola Ahmed Adekunle Tinubu. Baba, Tinubu is Kunle. Let's be honest. How many of you know say Tinubu deje onje Kunle Adekunle? Sure, you know say Tinubu deje Adekunle. Anyway, no matter anyway. So more live. Now in 2020, yeah, this EFCC of Bokwari, they were investigating. They were investigating Tifnumbu. And somehow, the investigation had to die for Koolu to be president. Now, the young boy, Bawa, a thief, he's also a thief. This one too is a thief. This young boy, because I deal with that name, and I'm not jealous in him, okay? He's a criminal. And that's the problem. You don't jealous criminals because anything they have is not their own. They stole it. They steal the money. Everything you see with thieves is not theirs. If you see them in a Ferrari, in a private jet, and it's not their money. They are thieves. Ordinarily, they cannot afford all of that. Mayegun EFCC chairman. How can you say EFCC chairman cannot show shit? Show wine? When I'm talking like that, like one-on-one, if I talk like this, and some of you did my side, I can't talk, you can't throw in that nonsense and say, Baba EFCC chairman now, what do you expect? Show shit and show wine. Who is EFCC chairman? Alone salary EFCC chairman. He's a thief. So currently, he will be arrested. They should arrest him too. It's just a drug baron. They arrested thieves. Now, the new world, where will they be that now? Are you with me? Make sure they cancel themselves. This young boy, I heard that he has 2 wives. Okay? Now, there's nothing wrong in having 2 wives if you can take care of them and afford, though, okay? For those who want that, oh. This guy is accused of, confiscating the proceeds of corruption that they are chasing, the fraudster, they are taking their properties. This guy, like his predecessor, they are like cornering all this. He's so rich, yeah, that he has already bought 2 houses for his own family, 2 wives in his wife in Dubai. Yeah, they said this last Shena Umura. Which one be Umura? You know, Shati Losi Umura. We don't go Umura, come back. Abi, we see they go. Which one you did? We went to Mecca, to Saudi. You know, Umura Hajj. This guy packed his mom, his dad, their extended family, his wives, their children, his brothers, and all of that. He packed them, right, in a one single chartered private jet for that Hajj. I'm telling you, this is a factor. It's not a made up. They will arrest him soon too. You will read about. They will expose themselves. Me, I'll come back and tell you. Say, "She, I not tell you they be thief." Do you see how you waste your time expecting thieves to do the right thing? They will never do it. So he's been accused of that, right? Just like Gandola, the governor of Kano, who was giving contract to people, and they were inflating contract price so that he could collect a kickback in dollars. This guy collected over $120 million bribe. But he got to say they had to like cover him and record him. So he got caught when he was talking the dollars into his Babariga Agbada. Here you get. You know what happened? They said the guy that recorded him, the journalist that released that video to all of us, for all of us to see, now that journalist committed crime because he recorded the governor without his consent or more. The State House of Assembly said they cleared him. He did nothing wrong because that video was obtained illegally. A thief has rights more than the citizens. The next day, no stop there. The State Assembly ordered the arrest of that journalist that released that video. They arrested the journalist. They put him in jail. The journalist is going to defend until the journalist have to write apology letter to Gandola, that thief. He wrote apology letter. I'm so sorry, Your Excellency, for embarrassing you. I apologize for everything that happened. And then that's when they allowed the journalist to go. Now the criminals, they gather, so they look for appointment to come and fix your life. Oh, and you lori daughter, alaye baje. Ori daughter, aye baje. Wọ́n ní kojú fọ́, KTD, kálàfíà ṣàtiwà. Irú àlàáfíà wo nìyẹn? Sorry if you don't understand Yoruba. Now, so they use some of this analogy and all that. You are looking at thieves, daylight robbers, and you are telling yourself that God can use anybody. If God could make a donkey to talk, you did there when donkey talk. 2023, you did tell yourself, say you did see thieves. You did tell yourself, say God will touch them because God touched one donkey for somewhere when they talk. So that say, okay, God can touch them. When you dey blind, you no get eyes. You don't dey blind, you don't deaf. Deaf and dumb, blind. They call the talk say, as long as you are healthy. Which kind health be healthy? Which kind be healthy be that? Koju for KTD, kalafia shatiwa. Which alafia is that? That's what I'm saying. So you can't give your country to thieves and then turn to God to help you touch them so that they can do good. We alone share. Bumio, see, no be to the people. You see, you are free. You don't see now your phone, you get there. Now my own microphone, I get here. Use your phone to abuse me. 8 years now. So some of you, Lori Brukus, abused me. And for that 8 years, you are waiting for one single win. One single win. That's what you can say. At least you have one win in your life under Bokwari. At the end of the day, it's gone. Like the thieves that came in the night. The thieves came to do 3 things: to steal, to kill, and to destroy. That's exactly what APC Akpabiole represents. I really do pray for you to have a win. Something you can use to say, I told you. And I can say, man, God is good, though. You can dream on. So that is how me idea operates, okay? A country whereby the total money the total money they they wanted to spend on education, as well as healthcare. If you combine them together, the money they budgeted for street lights is more than the money they budgeted for education. Which kind of the budget for street lights is more than the budget for education, health. And you turn around and you say, God, she wants to be God, a magician. Anyway, let's go further. Because it didn't stop there. Gbajabiamila also resigned. Just in case if you need to know, okay? Because if he has to go and be the chief of staff, he can't be a lawmaker. So he succeeded in making his own man, the speaker, as planned. Everything is working as planned right now. Everything is fine. It's the only difference is that being fine is not actually in your interest. It is theirs. We'll find out later. Yeah, Gbaja resigned. And his own constituency has been declared vacant. They're going to do another election charade. Put somebody there. Or promote somebody to be a rep from their... They go do the in-house shovel. That want to go carry Agbada, go Abuja and say, I am representing Surulere Federal Constituency. And when you go to Surulere Federal Constituency, Anyway, it was Akpabiole that first went on to say thank you to Werewike. Oma Werewike, see, for the past 1 week, Werewike, James Sibori, Solo Makinde, Sheyi Makinde, Autumn, and the rest, they have been sleeping inside Werewike's house in Abuja, waiting for the call-up letter. Anything will go reach them. And since the known as now turn by turn, so they don't finish with the National Assembly. So Akpabiole, after seeing a koolu, he also went on to say thank you to Werewike. Team scored the team ball. Hello Farabale.
But I'm not qualified to thank him. I need to call our leader. A brand new God's will. They asked me what's the duration of this election. I say it's God's will. So let me, on behalf of my colleagues, invite His Excellency, Mr. Senate President. So please thank our brother on behalf of all of us. His Excellency, sir.
The Deputy Senate President of the 10th Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator Malawi, my dear brother, immediate past governor, performing governor of this state, yes, of weekend. My other colleagues, former governors, from my brother, Governor Ganduzi, Governor Maya, Governor Shumolen, also National Chairman, my distinguished brothers from the 10th Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
So let's go back into the green chamber. Basically, they call the rep chamber. Now green chamber. So now the Senate be the red chamber. Let's go back into there where Gbajabiamila signed out to take up the chief of staff post.
Mr. Speaker, points of order. Please, denied at this particular time. Please allow Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila to raise his point of privilege. Please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, rather than come under privilege, because I'm not so sure how this fits into the issue of privilege, which I thought I would come under, the next item on our order paper is personal explanation. And I'd rather come on that personal explanation.
Is that what you intend to take your matter under?
Yes.
So please, please go ahead and do it under personal explanation.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I will go straight to the point. It is with with mixed feelings that I want to, at this time, at this moment, at this hour, and at this minute, present to you and the Honorable House my letter of resignation from this House. If I may, Mr. Speaker, I have the letter here to present to you.
Thank you. Honorable, you may wish to submit.
So that was the end of Gbajabiamila in charge of the House of Representatives, the same place he once climbed the gate when they got locked out in 2015. I think. Was that? Nah, I think, yeah. I don't know. Well, you remember that he climbed the gates, eh? All of them climbing. So now he's going to be sitting in the office of Abbas Kyari, Bokwari's de facto president at the time. So he is kind of, it's so unfortunate that you just can't say clearly yet how the rivalry for control is going to be managed. But we can be ready for the drama afterward. Now, for some of you who saw the confession of that senator, Bina Bukashiwa, the one that said that his wife, who was the president of Court of Appeal in Nigeria, used her office to help some of these politicians, including some of these lawmakers. A confession of judicial compromise. But you didn't see the full video, did you? Right, I'll kind of put out for you before we continue for tonight.
Mr. President, at my age, I don't think I will lobby anybody under the sun. I will do the right thing, and I always do the right thing, and sincerely and honestly too. So, I know, I look at faces in this chamber whom have come to me and sought for my help when my wife was the president of the Court of Appeal. And I'm sure I'm...
the Senator, I don't know what to do. I think I would advise that you just round up and take your seat.
Many names. We know ourselves.
No, but this kind of insinuation will mean that there was favor, there was this and the rest of it. I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I must say that, okay, to round up, since that's what you want me to do, I will do that. And I must thank particularly my wife, whose freedom and independence I encroached upon while she was in office. And she has been very tolerant and accepted my encroachment and extended her help to my colleagues.
Mr. Wish, please, I don't think this is a good idea going this direction. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
Yeah, that's the full video. He still said it. Maybe we are all saying the good thing that happened now. Let me say thank you to my wife. You know what we did now? Maybe you know what we did. We know how to, she extended the hand of support to all my friends here. All of you benefited. No, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think us going to this direction is a good idea. It is just another way of saying, Senator, off your mic, off your mic. It's okay. It's okay, off your mic. You will see thieves and you'll be giving excuses for them. Abi, even Okorosha shock. Remember? When he was like, come, how you take Duam, you, Senate President?
Again, we shall all stand to say Nigeria is a great country. And to those of you, our colleagues, including you, Mr. Senate President, you know you're a very smart politician. How you came back is yet another political book to discuss. Sorry? How you came back is another chapter in our political history. How I came back from where? How you return to the Senate as a senator will open another chapter of great discussion in our political book. Because I was there in the field with you running for president. I never knew how you were able to meander and return and leaving some of us. Next time you must teach me how to do that. It was a treacherous zone.
You get that? You were laughing. I bet you are laughing too. Because, I mean, what can you do? I won't ask you to cry. Or the shame and the shamelessness in that is self-explanatory. Akpabiole didn't contest for primary elections. Today, he is the Senate President of Nigeria. What other lie do you like me to kind of remind you of? Do you have another kind of lie in mind you want me to remind you of? That the drug dealer, the drug lord, the convicted heroin trafficker is the President of Nigeria. A fanatic, a jihadist, is the Vice President of Nigeria with evidence. What other lie are you telling yourself that it's not true, but you are telling yourself it's not true? No, okay, you don't want to see it that way, you want to see it differently. What other lie would you kind of want me to tell you to stop telling yourself? Just saying. Okay. We can come back to that some other time. Let's go further. Let's proceed. Now we can dance here now, all right? Because this time around it is coming from what do you call it? K1. That's Sequam 1. And this one is good, even though no get sense. Are you with me? But he's a musician and it's just his own way of sending the message anyway. Kwam 1. Now, what happened here is this. Kwam 1 is asking Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu. Begging Tinubu to let Oloye Sunday Igboho return back to Nigeria. And on and on and on. It's music anyway. It's Yoruba music. If you don't understand them, don't dance to it though. Even if you are tempted to. Okay, dance to it anyway. I won't see you. I just don't want you to feel like maybe he's a good person, he's an honorable person too, right? However, his message. Let's listen to the message, not the messenger.
torí pé ẹgbẹ́ ṣe dáadáa wọ́n nígbà mú ṣe ìbò bó ṣe Yorùbá àbí bó ṣe aṣíwájú nílẹ̀ Haúsá àkọ́bí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí Sunday Igboho ajíwá sí àjẹkó darí wálé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá wá ní ọmọ ẹni ló ṣe ní bẹ̀bẹ̀ káàbí lẹ́kẹ̀ sí di ọmọ ẹ lónìí tẹ́ni àkọ́bí aṣíwájú ẹgbẹ́ wọn wọlé kẹ́ ẹ bá wọn wí bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti sátúnṣe yìí ọ́fíìsì àràbà ní Sunday Igboho ẹ jẹ́ kó padà sí Nàìjíríà ẹ jẹ́ kó darí wálé. àwọn tí ìlú Ìgbò ẹ pa wọn lórí wọn ẹ pè wọn kọ́ jókòó àkọ́bí kẹ́ ẹ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ èyí tó speak fún wọn náà kọ́ bóun náà sọ̀rọ̀ fún ẹ̀jẹ̀ kó darí wọlé èyí tó gbẹ̀gbẹ̀ nínú ọ̀pá láwùsá ẹ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ akọni ìdí mo mọ̀ pé ẹ̀ ṣe ni ẹ̀dẹ̀ máa ṣe akọni kó tutù ní Nàìjíríà káàní léwájú.
So that's him trying to send a message to Tinubu that Tinubu should forgive and let go. But do you know why I said we can't put that on him? Sure, you get now. We can't put that on Kwam1. Like I said, he's an honorable person. Politically and all of that is an honorable person. And I mean, there's no two way to explain that, all right? But that's his politics, right? But to now educate him and people like Kwam1, it is actually so stupid to think that somebody need to beg the president of a country that sworn to protect and defend the constitution of that country, the law of that country. He didn't make them, or is not above them. And he just chose never to obey the court's order or the court's judgment that clearly stated that Nnamdi Kanu cannot be tried, in any court. In that same Nigeria, Oloye Sunday Igboho took Nigeria to court and he got a judgment that he must be given or paid 1 billion naira for trampling on upon his fundamental human right. A court ruled that they were supposed to appeal that judgment in 90 days, or they should go and pay that money. These guys went to court 3 months towards the end of that deadline. They went to court and told the court that Nigeria was broke. If Nigeria paid the Igboho 1 billion naira that the court said, that Nigeria was going to go bankrupt. Remember that time, Abi? Sure, you remember? A court in Nigeria ruled, though, and they said that Nigeria should, by no means, continue to say they declared the Igboho wanted, or they wanted the Igboho because he's done nothing wrong. It is their court, not me. But they disobeyed the court. Today, they say, well, we should go and beg somebody. It's not the court, though. It's not the law. We'll go beg somebody. Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped in Kenya, from Kenya. They brought him to Nigeria thinking they had all the evidence to prosecute him, Abi, and jail him. They took him to their court. He defeated them in their own court. He took them to another court. In their own court, in that same Nigeria, the court said he should be paid 1.3 billion naira damages. Nigeria no paid the money. Oh. The court said, release him, let him go. Release it, return him back to Kenya. The process of you kidnapping him and bringing him to Nigeria has nullified any legal stand you might have as a country. We can't try him. No court can try Nnamdi Kanu. Let him go. They disobeyed the court. So it's not about saying it's just for him to do the right thing. It is your law. It is your court. Bokwari disobeyed it. He's not in jail for disobeying the court. He's not in jail. He should be in jail, but it's not. A lot of you prefer Nnamdi Kanu to remain in jail, not having access to the proper medical care. Because if he's out, it go spoil your market, spoil your business, spoil everything where all of you they cook here and there. All of una get una plan for Nigeria. You get your way of whatever. But you know, say if Nnamdi Kanu come out, all of that plan, you go need to do some amendment or change them or bury all the other your plan. He's not going to keep quiet. He's never going to shut up. Igboho is not going to shut up. A lot of you are Igboho is Yoruba. He has stopped talking. No. Igboho had to stop talking because the chancers, the charlatans, those who are pretty much like a hungry twat on social media, right? They were saying things that he didn't say. They were making threats that he didn't make. And these are a bunch of low lives that actually have no second address or any address at all. So, I bet he was tired of reading everywhere that Igboho said we are going to take over Nigeria. We are going to declare a Yoruba nation tomorrow. We're going to declare it next tomorrow. We're going to do this and we're going to do, maybe he's tired of all of that. Just ask the Nigeria government to obey their own law. That's all. There's no point in sending a mystery. Go and help us beg them. Go and help us. No. Just follow your own law. Pay Igboho is 1 billion naira so that he can put back all the destruction, the ruin, the properties they destroyed. Yeah, he can bring back the lives they killed. That can be another case. So if there's anything, stop saying forgive. Forgive Kini. So I just thought I should educate some of you like that, okay? Me say, mate, if Tinubu no, let them, he could do that, but he will just be doing what Bokwari failed to do, following your own law. Your law. Sure you get now. Follow your own law. It's simple. If INEC follow their own law, there will be no this division in Nigeria. You know that. Somebody said 20 billion. Me, I think 1 billion. No. 20. Who go pay them? So, if anything at all, now Nigeria is supposed to beg Nnamdi Kanu and Igboho. Say, oh, yeah, sorry for everything. We are sorry for everything. Sorry. Oyamo will do to be Nubi. So Igboho is not coming out to come and tell you that he's no longer doing Yoruba nation. You know why? In the primary thing that triggered or like kind of brought Oloye Igboho himself out. You know what it is? Yorubas were being slaughtered in Okeogun. They called on government. The government and the rest of them, they ignored and abandoned them. Igboho received their SOS, save our soul. And if you follow the timeline, he went there to tell them, you need to leave our land. You cannot be doing this to our people. You are killing, you know what I mean? And as long as they continue to do that in Yoruba land, somebody like Igboho is not going to shut up. You can take that to the bank. I mean, I can say that to you for free. Okay? And then for those others who have actually they were waiting for a time to say, maybe Tinubu will now use Yoruba to Yoruba. You have no idea what is really at stake. But if he has the ball, let him go. Let them go. I won't say more than that, too. Or should I say more? Nah. They are celebrating the deputy. Yeah, they are celebrating the deputy Senate president seat. I still don't okay, let me see if I have the names and the faces of them here. They call them the Tinubu's men. Sure, you see them. Now that guy this is the deputy Senate president, Akpabiole's deputy. And what's the other one's name? And that one is the deputy, the eastern, the lawmaker from the eastern part of Nigeria is the deputy to Tajuddin Abbas. And they are called Tinubu's men. Eko Julono. Yeah, princess. Anyway, hang on, I have this clip. I don't know what it's all about. No, you don't need that. It's Gbajabiamila handing over to Tajuddin. So let's move to the next one. Shebi, you all know, what's this guy name again? Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll play it. Listen to this. Oh, everybody they take their different space and shape and everything. Who is your zaddy or who is your mommy? Every of these politicians and our slickers, they are taking their different, taking up their different opportunities as they come. The music don't they change. Tinubu, the drug dealer. Folashade, his daughter, she's a government on her own too. Galadima Buba.
My big boss, all those on the high table, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me stand on the existing protocol and greet all of you on this auspicious day, the Democracy Day. For those of us who had been in trenches in politics for the last 45 years, knew that this time around the difference is very, very clear. We do appreciate Mr. President, and so far the team is appointed for having been on the right track so far. We do pray and hope that the action man will continue with what he's doing and make Nigeria a better place for all of us. Thank you very much, Iyaloja.
Thank you very much, Iyaloja. Iyaloja, Your Excellency, thank you so much. This is different. We have the President Tinubu that is going to Hey, God bless me. Then fast forward everything like 2 years or something for you. May you just see the vision of what's going to be like in 2 years' time, because you are telling yourself about if Tinubu continue like this, Nigeria is going to be this and that in two years. Hey, okay. Me need some kokon like Jonathan.
I came to brief the president about some continental and subcontinental bodies. You know, I'm the ECOWAS mediator for Mali, and I'm the chair of the West African Elders Forum. So there are certain issues bordering on the continent and the sub-region that I discuss with various presidents.
Like I said, me need some kokon, but there's one I want to say. I will let you listen to this first. This is the chairman of Airpeace. I've been at peace here, Airpeace in Nigeria, trying to explain the fraud called Nigeria Air. Then I go add my own. Then we are going to go to bed after that, or call it a night. Watch this.
This Nigerian Air thing. Look at the shareholding. I have it here. The shareholding agreement. I have it here. Without SACO, Nigeria would have been in trouble. The entire management, leadership of the entire management, the DFO, the CEO, all the management positions, the headship, Ethiopia, deputies, Nigeria. Then look at the shareholding. Ethiopia, 49%. There's a company called Fairfax. Who is this Fairfax? It's another Ethiopian, owned by an Ethiopian. They are transaction advisors. They are going to get 3%. They are going to get 1.45% of the shareholding capital, which is put at 250 million. Ethiopia will bring 122 million, but not as cash. Rentals. They'll bring what Ethiopia is bringing is only the Nigerian companies that are going to bring money. SACO and MRS. I have it here. The document is with us here. Ethiopia is not bringing a penny into Nigeria. Ethiopia will pay rentals for their own plane. It's written here, black and white. Pay rentals for their own plane for 5 years. So even if they pay the 122,000, Airpeace alone is worth over $2 billion. As I speak to you, Boeing is in my office now for the delivery of our 737 MAX, which is costing over $1 billion. The E2s from Embraer that we've started receiving is costing about $1 billion. 5 of them have entered Nigeria. Ethiopia is bringing nothing, and they are going to earn 49% of your country's wealth. I call on President Ahmed Bola Tinubu to immediately dissolve.
Keep your call. Mr. Hairpiece, let me explain what he's trying to say to some of us who be like layman like me. The Nigeria Air put together by Adisirika, the fraud, okay? Apart from the show off about logo and all of that stuff, that just messy stuff, right? Apart from all of that, behind the scene, they even did more horrible things. That they didn't get the what do you call it? The whatever approval could actually be a blessing in disguise for already traumatized Nigeria. So what happened? Adisirika left Nigeria, where you have a major carrier with Onyama as the chairman, right? They have the capital value, market value or market capital of, am I even using the right word? Not stock, not what have you. Well, anyway, they shall have the market value of over $4 billion. How many of you even know that? The hairpiece is worth over $4 billion. Do you know that? And it is Nigerian hairline. It's been the one that is helping to evacuate Nigerians from troubled zones, troubled countries all over the world. Now, Adisirika went on to the Ethiopian here from Ethiopia, and they told them, like, listen, we want to make a deal with you. We'll give you 49% of that deal. Okay? We'll give you all the administrative control and everything. But you're going to do something for us. You're going to be leasing your aircraft to us. What does that mean? They will put Nigeria name on that, on like maybe 3-4 aircraft. Okay? And they will be like flying that and all of that for Nigeria. And that value of that will be like $120 or $130 million worth. They are not paying any cash or anything. No. The plane and all of that is no longer co-owned by Nigeria and them. Everything is still their own. But just put the banner on it. So, and this business and those who are going to buy shares in it, once everything comes together, we'll give you 49% of the shares. And the remaining 51% will be shared among Nigerians who are expected to bring money to actually buy the shares. So what the arrangement was is that Adisirika, who went to go and make that bogus deal, was more interested in what is going to be is, and if there's going to be anyone that's going to be benefiting from that. He didn't care if that is not a Nigerian company, because that Nigerian company airline is owned by an Igbo man. Even though they could go on there and take pictures with Nigerians rescued from troubled spots all over the world as the aviation minister. But when that time comes for them to consolidate something that they want to call national airline, they didn't even invite them. And when it comes to the shares of the 51%, that too is already rewritten, rearranged. It was for specific people, not even for like really airline operators. So you get that? It would probably have been a different story if they gave the offer of 49% to Hairpiece. Imagine if Hairpiece was given that 49%, and they already are so ambitious to expand their fleet. And then by giving them that 49%, they are not going to take it for free. They're going to have to kind of cough out some money or mark some of their own aircrafts as here in Nigeria. And, you know, it's Nigerian thing, Abi. It won't take much to actually like convert some of them and also work with investors' money, like those of you who are going to buy their shares if they make it open. So all of that money will be available for Hairpiece, and then the investors as well, right? And before you know it, you have Nigeria here. You have all the trade, you have the staff, you have everything. And by now, you can begin to now dream of expansion, something like if they have more money, more shares, or shareholder, or stock, you know, that comes on and bringing more money, they can expand their fleet. And from 10 aircraft, it will probably go up to 100, 200, 500. And what would you get? All over the world, you'll be seeing an aircraft carrying Nigeria here to top destinations all over the world. And at the end of the day, all of that money that everybody is going to make out the money that the airline will be making from all over the world comes to Nigeria, comes straight into the economy of Nigeria. Then you can have something to brag about and say, yes, I'm from Nigeria. Have you seen our national airline? Or more. Have you seen? Because once you do that, once you have that fleet, to improve all the Nigerian airports to international standard, like for real this time around, won't be hard. Because now you have real business. You have a national carrier. You need the corresponding airport to back that up. But the whole plan is not like that. They went to Ethiopia, who gave them nothing but one plane, to paint it for just one day and return it back. And then people should bring the money and give it to Ethiopia Airline so that they can help Nigeria set up Nigeria Air. Addis Irika went on TV to say the local airline in Nigeria, they don't have that capacity, they don't have that money, they don't have that kiniko, and all the nonsense he said. And that's what prompted that man to come out to say somebody like that should never have even had a chance of holding any kind of public office. But here you are. It was your minister. And today, 12 billion naira for firefighting trucks at airports. And then one shattered aircraft painted from Ethiopia for just 24 hours. All of this costs Nigeria over 150 billion naira. 12 billion, no, you spent 12 billion to buy 12 fire trucks for Nigeria airports. So that is miss. But Onyama is calling on Tinubu to do the correction so that the real people can actually help you build the Nigeria airline. I was like, okay. You have no idea. They know who you are. They saw that chance. They saw the opportunity. They are just not interested. Anybody but Igbo. If you still don't believe that, if you still believe in your one Nigeria, see, I am not the one to kind of be on the judgment seat to judge you. Nigeria will tell you where you truly belong, even without me, whether you believe me or not. Okay? So we have seen that. And indeed, now the last one, before I go, is another GBT. Everything shall not scam. Everything a chance to steal from you. Everything an opportunity to mess up your life, mess up your business, mess up your everything. But a lot of you don't even know. We will make Nigeria work for you. We will make $1 to 1 naira, 40 naira to a liter, and all the nonsense they told you that you share them on. The new one is that they are going to make sure that they crash the exchange rate in Nigeria. Dollar and naira are going to, dollar is going to crash. And in their way, let me tell you this one. You know, say me, I don't be economist, Abby. See, in the past, when I used to do my own analysis like this, trying to tell people my thoughts, they thought I was just putting on my camera to just blab and talk. Especially some of them where they wear suit and tie. Some of you will believe, say, because you did accounting. I did accounting. Kilo came out accounting oshitoshi. I'm talking about thieves. Using that same accounting that you did. Can you PhD? Now, only book where they still be there with the, they use all kind of languages to rob you. Now, some of they talk all the time. 8 years ago, they will say, you this my ego, you think say you know everything. The reason why I don't like this my ego is because he believes he knows everything. Are you more intelligent than the central bank governor? You this my ego, are you more educated? Do you know economy more than the economists that are working for central? Pow bibanga. Bela ye sheta. Pow biguguru. Last yo, the best economist, central bank governor, Ide Gallo now, after using that to rob you, wreck your economy. Emi Mayegun, where be say I no go economic school. I don't do any accounts. I don't do any of this nonsense. I dey tell you the truth. Say if I put 10 naira for my pocket, I get 10 naira for my pocket. I dey buy tin milk for 1 naira. No be 9 naira I go get. So, but if I go out, I did there and say, I won't buy tin of milk. They say na 3 naira. So, money where they take buy 3 tins of milk, and they use and buy 1 tin of milk. You dey tell me say economics. The economics work in a, there's a way economics. Show shiri, show, she, wa, check is, check, colon sa eba mi bati Jenny. Because 8 years, so, Emefiole destroyed Nigeria economy. Is an economist, central bank governor, more intelligent than Mayegun, very smarter than Mayegun. Policy is policy. Any kuri. What you gave me this, yo? And that is, Tinubu's policy says all the banks in Nigeria should start selling dollar. You are free to sell dollar at your price. It be like say somebody wake up and say, fellow Nigerians, today, as the NNPC chairman, I hereby declare that all petrol stations in Nigeria should start selling fuel. So you go to them, hey, great news. All the filling stations in Nigeria are going to be selling fuel now. They are not going to be selling pure water again. Now fuel they go to sell. So very, very great work. Eti shiri. And that's why you see my tone and the language. We never change. I know those I am dealing with. Ajiyaje, Ishelabi, Iyawumi, Oshibamigbe, awon were eda, Akoshibero. You know what I mean? They are there. They say the dollar is going to crash on its own. That's what they are saying now. They said it go crash on its own. Because Koolu said banks should be selling. Where are you supposed to be buying forex? Aswani market, Abi. Inside the traffic, Abi. Under the tree, Bureau de change Egbele, Abi. Is that not what they made Nigeria? Now, breaking news. The banks can now sell dollar. Where is the dollar? Do you not know that the problem is that the greed of your leaders have become so huge that a lot of you don't understand what you are funding, their greed that you are funding, their children schooling abroad, the properties they bought abroad that they need to service. All of their, the ones they want to steal and take abroad as well. They need this dollar. They take, if small day like this, they have to move them inside for them to use. The businessmen who actually trade business, who do business, they know they see any dollar exchange do business. Now, you criminal politicians, they spend the money as a star code. The dollar is not making anything. So who do you think they are relying on? They are relying on me, Mayegun General. They are relying on you. If you are not living in Nigeria, your money, you are like, back in the days. May I tell you this one? In the 1800, 18th century, 1800, 19th century, 1900, 20th century, they sell black people as slaves, sell us as slaves. So, the proceeds from slaves are what some of them were using back home as being wealthy, rich, ologun eru. You know what that means in Yoruba? Ologun eru. Somebody who owns 20 slaves. It's a sign of wealth. That they sell us abroad. They could put our forebears, they put them inside there, makeshift canoe. Some of them didn't make it to the destination. They died. They dumped them in the massive Atlantic Ocean. They were never to be seen again. But the only difference be say, are you following me? The only difference between then and now is that now all of us, they pay money to get visa to enter the slavery. Say, we go manage them. At least there's no longer plantation anymore. Are you with me? Since there is no plantation to work on the farm anymore. Now, when we work, we get paid. So the proceeds from our what do you call it, this economic slavery that they see us as the economic cash cow. Abroadians, your money is very valuable. Odabi owo eru ni. So they started targeting us, asking us to send our money through them so that our dollars, our pounds, and our every money can go through them. Sure you get. So that you don't put your money inside the envelope and give it to somebody where they travel. I say, my brother will see you at the airport. Let me give him this envelope. If you get this, you know what I mean? They wanted us. They targeted us. They needed our money. How could we be sending over $36 billion annually to Nigeria? And they can put their hand on that. That's a lot of money. Where is the money? How is it going? What, you know where? Sure you get, sha. They were targeting us. They did something, they call it N-Power. No, not N-Power. No, not N-Power. It's not N-Power. Inira, it's called Inira. E-Naira. I came here and said, Inira, want to run out of, because the only source of dollars in Nigeria, the only source of forex for you in Nigeria, the entire Nigeria government. I'm gone. No, if I say my camera don't turn off. Now we need to wrap up soon. Okay, don't go anywhere. Oh.
We have no blinker of electricity. They spend more than $60 billion. They forget that transmission line is a super highway for generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn for that electricity.
Check Bobby. So they were targeting us. Come and send your money. Send your money to Nigeria through Inira. As Amy, alone Nigeria Inira. Inira. So they now said that the bank should be selling at any rate they want. Shebina, when you see dollar, you go sell. So if you see your dollar now as a bank, you know, if central bank give you dollar, Emefiole created the round-tripping system whereby some people be middlemen. Instead of the money from central bank, dollars from central bank to go to the banks, normally, the way countries they operate, Baba na Burundi change that they give the money to Ilushi. Burundi change long banks go can't go Burundi change, they go look for dollar. Or bank go they give you number say, sir, we don't have any dollar. In this whole building, this big house, you don't get dollar, you don't get $100,000. I need $2 million for my business. And I need to make that money available tomorrow. No, so it's okay, sir. Don't worry. You know what we're going to do is that I'll give you a number. I want a allergy number. Call this allergy. Okay? Say it's from me, from FCMB. It's from me, tell them, say it's from me, Mayegun from First Bank. They will do you well. If you need 10 million, see, allergy. Sir, if you need 10 million, that allergy could give you. Banker, they send it to allergy, businessmen to allergy to go and get $10 under Bokuwari. It be like doctor where they send you go babalawo because income. Say, oh my brother, this thing where they do you. I don't understand them at all. The whole thing no sure for every test what they do. Will I say we go have to? I'm only like to test a labor or any. Imagine doctor telling you, sir, yes sir. Do you want me to advise you? You need to take this your son. You need to take your husband, man. Or you need to take your wife, sir, out of this hospital. Later. Now, their fear go begin. You know that? They say, they have rejected him in the hospital. Hey, they have rejected him in the hospital. Oh, they say we should go and see ESLA. We should go and do spiritual. What are we going to do now? That's exactly what Central Bank of Nigeria has become. They don't get dollar, except the one for the politicians. The crude oil, that is the main source of forex for Nigeria. The crude oil, they don't share them. Money no day. So even if they pay money, they even enter bank. It was a complete treasonable crime these guys committed for 8 years. So koolu don't start in home. He didn't tell you it's going to make $1 naira to $1. But I can assure you, it will help you make $1 1,000 naira. and more. For now, the news is Koolu said all the banks can sell forex. Where is the forex? And why is he telling the banks to sell forex? Is that not what the bank does? Change money, buy money, trade money. Is that not what bank does? And you save money. No, so where do you expect to see a complete honest transaction when you are dealing in forex other than your bank? So I don't say make una no dance. So I just say if una dey cry, taban sunkun, aman wrong. If we dey cry, we dey see you. No matter how angry, how sad you are, you are crying. You go see the CEO. But if you pretend that you are not seeing in Yoruba, they say you can only wake somebody who is sleeping. You cannot wake anybody who is pretending. You know what I'm saying? Hello? Hello? Mayegun? Mayegun, are you sleeping? You know that? I'm pretending I'm not sleeping. I can hear you. That's pretense. So you can't wake somebody who is pretending. That is why I'm not going to wake you. Whatever lie they say to you, enjoy them, take a ride, run with it. But when next you see me, I will be that conscience that is here to say, you are doing yourself. Oh. You cannot be doing the same thing again and again and expect a different result. And when I see thieves, Baba, I know they get hope. But again, man, not take your own hope. Enjoy him until you begin to see the shaggy. And then you will remember me. Dear man. I will be called to Fumayegun Eloro Sonisha. I thought that we got it right. They don't give them Mayegun talk again. He go talk again now. Baba, I will never stop talking. Because the criminals will never stop committing crimes. And you will never stop licking their asses. Now then we have a problem. Who is going to stop first? Would you stop licking their asses first? So that I can stop talking about them. If you don't stop and they don't stop their crime, then we have a problem. I'll see you some other time. You should all enjoy your evening, though. And don't leave without liking this broadcast, especially if you spend your evening this long. I will see you some other time. Stay safe and good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun dayari political. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn láti.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn láti.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn láti.
Máyégún ti dé.
Wọ́n bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn láti.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn láti.
Máyégún ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn láti.
Máyégún ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn láti.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn láti.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn láti.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn láti.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.